All right, so today we're diving into the world of Confucius,
Oh, yeah?
and I'm really curious about this one.
Yeah.
You see his name and you think fortune cookies,
Right.
but we're gonna go way beyond that today and figure out why this guy still matters after 2,500 years.
Well, you're right. The fortune cookies are definitely memorable. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But Confucius's impact is really huge.
Hmm.
He's really the foundation of so much philosophy and even social structures, especially you head into East Asia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So not just telling me my lucky numbers or anything.
No, not quite.
Um, so set the scene for me. When Confucius was around, what was going on in the world?
Well, imagine, if you will, ancient China, but in a time of total political chaos.
Okay.
Just constant instability and upheaval. It was a whirlwind.
Yep.
And that really actually shaped Confucius's ideas.
Hmm.
He believed that social order and really strong moral leadership were the answers.
So kind of like a recipe for a better society born out of a pretty intense time. And he came from this really privileged background to be able to have such big thoughts, right?
Not exactly. His full name was actually Confuci, which means Master Kong.
Okay.
He was born around 551 BCE in the Lu state, which is in modern-day Shandong province. And while his family had a noble background, his early life was actually marked by hardship.
Okay, so noble family, but a little bit of a tough upbringing.
Yeah, you could say that.
Sounds like a movie.
It does a little bit.
So how does he go from that to becoming this incredible philosopher?
Well, despite those challenges, Confucius got an education, and he absolutely loved to learn.
Okay.
This is somebody who just devoured knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But here's where it gets interesting. As he grew up and even started working for the government, he got increasingly disillusioned by the corruption and disorder he witnessed.
Oh, so he's seeing firsthand that things aren't really quite lining up.
Exactly. Things weren't working the way they should.
So this clash between maybe his ideals and the reality of how things were run.
Yeah, and it really bothered him. But here's the real turning point. He believed that all this political turmoil he was seeing was actually rooted in a decline in morality.
Hmm.
He thought people had moved away from the ancient virtues that he believed had made society strong.
That's so interesting. So how did he try to address that? Did he try and change the system from the inside?
He did it first,
Yeah.
but eventually he realized that to really change the world, you have to change the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
So he made this incredible decision to dedicate his life to teaching.
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine him traveling around, sharing his ideas about ethics, leadership,
Mm-hmm.
and how to live a fulfilling life?
I'm picturing a traveling philosopher just, spreading wisdom wherever he went.
That's a great image.
It sounds like people really responded to that message.
They did. He attracted a very dedicated group of students who wrote down everything he said. And that's actually how we got texts like the Analects, which are like this collection of his teachings and conversations. And they're still studied by millions today.
Wow, talk about a legacy.
I know, it's really something.
So we've got this backdrop of a society in crisis and a man who truly believes in the power of virtue and education to make things better.
Yeah,
I'm hooked.
good.
What were some of the key ideas at the heart of his philosophy?
Well, those are the ingredients for a better life that we talked about.
Okay.
Let's start with one of the most important ones, Ren.
Bring it on. I'm ready to explore Ren.
Ren is often translated as benevolence or humaneness, but it's really more than just being nice.
Oh, yeah?
You see, Confucius didn't just talk about treating others how you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
He really emphasized actively cultivating a spirit of genuine care and empathy, like in every interaction you have.
So it's more than just being polite. It's about really seeing and understanding the people around you.
Exactly. It's
Mhm.
about recognizing the humanity in everyone and then acting with compassion.
Okay.
Confucius believed that Ren was like the highest virtue a person could possess.
Mm.
It was the key in his mind to building those strong, meaningful relationships
Right.
and ultimately creating a more harmonious society.
It makes you think about how often you interact with people, and you don't really do that.
Right.
Ren seems like a powerful antidote to that.
It really is.
So what about this concept of Leah? I've heard that term before, but I'm not entirely sure what it means.
Leah is often translated as rituals or etiquette.
Okay.
And you're right, it can seem a bit formal at first.
Yeah.
Think about things like bowing in some cultures or even just saying please and thank you.
Right, so those little social cues that kind of grease the wheels.
Exactly.
But there's more to it than just that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For Confucius, life wasn't about being stuffy or blindly following rules.
Okay.
It was about recognizing that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. And our actions have this ripple effect.
Okay.
Like, it's about understanding and respecting those social norms because they really reflect shared values and help maintain order and respect within a community.
Okay, so it's less about the specific rituals and more about what they represent.
Yes.
Respect, consideration, that sense of shared history and values. I can see how that would be really important for a society to function well.
It is.
So let's shift gears a little bit here.
Okay.
Talk about family.
Yeah,
Because I think even today, family bonds continue to be just this powerful force in so many cultures.
of course.
So how did Confucius view the role of family?
For Confucius, family was the foundation
Okay.
of a strong and harmonious society.
Okay.
And this is where we get to the concept of shao, which is often translated as filial piety.
Filial piety.
Yes.
So that makes me think about respect for elders, ancestors, that sort of thing.
You're on the right track.
Right.
Shao is about this deep respect and care for one's parents and ancestors. It emphasizes honoring one's family, caring for them, especially as they age, and making them proud.
Okay, so it's about recognizing the sacrifices that they've made and understanding that we have a responsibility to care for them just as they cared for us.
Precisely. And Confucius believed that this emphasis on family, on filial piety, would naturally extend outwards into society as a whole. Like, if you can't treat your own family with respect and care, how can you be expected to treat others with those same virtues?
That makes a lot of sense. It's like building a really strong foundation for a house.
Yeah,
You start with the family, and that strength just ripples outward.
exactly. Now, to kind of connect all of these vital concepts, Renli Xiao Confucius really emphasized what he called the 5 key relationships,
Okay.
the foundation for a well-ordered society.
5 key relationships.
Yes,
Sounds like a self-help book.
it does a little bit.
So what are they? So what are they? What are these 5 key relationships?
Well, they really encompass all the different spheres of our lives.
Okay.
They are ruler and subject,
Okay.
father and son,
Mm-hmm.
husband and wife,
Okay.
elder brother and younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
and friend and friend.
Okay, so it covers all the bases,
Mhm.
family, leadership, even friendships. I'm noticing a little bit of a hierarchy here, though. Was Confucius really all about knowing your place and not rocking the boat too much?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it gets to the heart of how these relationships work. Yes, there's a hierarchy,
Okay.
but it's not about blind obedience.
Okay.
Each relationship is really a two-way street,
Okay.
built on this foundation of mutual respect and responsibility.
Okay.
For example, a ruler, according to Confucius, has to be worthy of their subjects' loyalty by, like, demonstrating integrity and wisdom.
Oh, so it's less about barking orders and more about inspiring people to be better
Exactly.
by embodying those virtues themselves.
It's leadership by example.
I like it.
And that actually brings us to another really crucial concept, Junzi. It's often translated as gentleman or noble person. But it's not about being born into wealth or status.
Okay.
It's really about a commitment to personal and moral excellence.
So anyone can strive to be a Junzi.
Absolutely, regardless of their background.
What does that look like in everyday life, though?
Well, it's like an ongoing process
Yeah.
of self-cultivation.
Yep.
A Junzi is someone who's dedicated to learning, reflecting on their actions,
Mm.
and always striving to do the right thing even when it's difficult.
Right.
They embody those key Confucian virtues. Renli Xiao.
Sounds like a lifelong journey, not a destination.
Exactly.
It is. Did Confucius believe that everyone was capable of reaching that level of moral development?
He absolutely did. And he believed that education was key,
Okay.
not just for the elite, but for everyone.
Mm.
He was a true champion of making learning accessible, emphasizing the study of history, literature, philosophy as crucial for building moral character and just refining your own judgment.
It's amazing how his emphasis on lifelong learning and moral leadership still resonates today. It makes you wonder what kind of impact a leader like that could have in our world now.
Well, his influence has been profound, particularly in East Asia.
Yeah.
Confucianism shaped Chinese culture, government, and social structures for centuries.
Ah.
I mean, we're talking influencing everything from education to art to family values.
Oh.
It's incredible to think about really the legacy of one man who lived over 2,500 years ago.
It's really inspiring. It's been so cool to go beyond, just those fortune cookie messages
Right.
and uncover the depth and richness of Confucius's philosophy. I feel like I've gained just this whole new appreciation for his ideas.
And I think that's a wonderful takeaway because exploring these ideas, even if they were first written down, centuries ago,
Right.
can offer us valuable insights into how we live our lives and,
Yeah.
and how we can build a better world today.
That is a perfect note to end on.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Confucius. We've only scratched the surface, but hopefully we've sparked your curiosity to explore a little bit more on your own.